Hey everyone, it's Mary. I am making some bread today, multigrain bread. It's in an ebook. I actually just printed it out, but it's an ebook for a quick cooker, which is like Pampered Chef's version of, our version of, I guess, an Instapot. Um, we'll talk a little bit more about this, but I'm going to shoot a couple short little videos because it's just going to, I've got to kind of do it in spurts here. But I've got, you can do this by a hand mixer. I just got my KitchenAid mixer out. I'm just going to put this all together. So there's bread flour, and I'll put the recipe after the video. There's some bread flour, some yeast, salt, and oatmeal. And just kind of mix it up already. And we're going to put some water in there with the, obviously with the yeast for the moisture. And to get it, you don't want it over 130. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm doing here, and then we'll check it again. So I've got everything, and we're going to add, it says for honey. I don't use honey. Some people don't use honey. Some people like it. That's fine. This is pure maple syrup. I got it from a local place last year. So I'm adding this to my mixture for sweetener. I guess you could probably use sugar, but honey or maple syrup I think is fine. And it calls for some butter, some softened butter. I'm using vegan butter. So I bought this and I've used this a handful of times. I made this bread before. I made it the other day and warm out of the oven with this butter on it. This vegan butter is fine, but I think oil, you know, I like olive oil with bread as well. So let me get you over here instead of looking at my goofy face. So, but anyway, this is the brand. Maybe if you have a favorite one that you use, but actually I like this. This worked out fine. So we've got that. We're going to check the water. This is our instant read thermometer. So let me just show you a couple things about it. So it comes with this, actually comes with the battery, and it comes with a probe. So the nice thing about it is the probe can fit right in there to the end. So if you use it for another purpose and what we're using it for here, you can do that. But it also has a probe attached to it. So just kind of turn it out, and there it is. And it's instant read. It works perfect. This is one of the lids that comes with the quick cooker. I'm using it. You can use this for a slow cooker, for a variety of other things with our quick cooker, but I'm using it to proof. But if you were using it for another purpose, a slow cooker, and you needed to check the internal temperature or something, you can just pop it in there and do that as well. But I won't need that for that. Check my water temperature. Just a little over 130. This is the ceramic pot that comes with it, with a little helper handle, right? It says to bake it in here, but when I did it the other day, I did not bake it in here. This can go in the oven, but I'm not. When I come back, I'll show you how I did it. But we're gonna proof it in here for 30 minutes, and so I am gonna do that. I am gonna follow that rule. This is our spritzer. This is just pure olive oil in here. Just pump it up. Put any kind of oil in here. Avocado oil, olive oil. I like olive oil. And just spray it. Please don't use Pam. You know, like if you bake, I'll use the spray that's got the oil and the flour in it. But if you use Pam, that stuff is just so wretched. Does a horrible job, I think. But what it does really, make sure you burp this. Just take the pressure off the internal mechanism. But I think the problem with Pam is what happens is all that sticky stuff, called overspray, you know, when you spray too much of it, and it gets on the actual baking material, and it goes in the oven and no food hits it. It gets real sticky and tacky, and you have all that icky stuff on your pans. That's where you get it from Pam. So either do what I just did, spray it, and brush it with a pastry brush with Pampered Chef sells a really nice silicone brush, or just a stick of butter like my mom used to do, or some type of a butter product or a shortening product. or just use our kitchen spritzer, which does a really nice job. And this dough, like I said, this is the second time I've made it. And this dough is real wet and kind of sticky. So just make sure you know that, and you haven't done anything wrong. It's doing exactly what it needs to do. So I'm gonna scrape down the sides here in a second. And you can see how wet that is, right? And I'm going to add a little bit more of the flour for another 1.5 cups of the flour. And this is bread flour. The recipe tells you that you can use all-purpose flour in here. But I have bread flour, so that's what I'm going to use. I think it'll probably be obviously just a little bit of a different consistency if you do use the AP flour. But I don't think it's bad. I don't think it would be bad, I guess is what I'm saying. It's bread, and no one's mad if you have nice warm bread coming out of the oven. So it's kind of firming up a little bit. But it's still a very wet dough. I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm gonna this off. I'm gonna put it in the bowl. And I'll show you real quick. Just gonna press it down. And then what you do is this rack right here. Just put it in there. So I'll move this. Move these guys out of the way. It just helps allow you to easily put this inside of the cooker. You put the lid on it, right? And if you can see, to use it, you just simply turn this wheel and it changes the setting, right? So I'm proofing now. And that's it. Press start and it goes. It'll be for 30 minutes. And like I said, I'm going to come back and then I'll show you what else you do, and then I'll show you the end product when it's done. So see you in a bit.